Hello everyone. Today we'll start with importing the data through data management and EPM Automate. Yesterday we covered importing and exporting of data, and we used through Inbox Outbox Explorer, and we saw the various how to load the data through various import modes, and like how to load with the merge and replace, and we have three different accumulation types, and we saw that within what is the case if we load with merge within file, merge and replace within file, or the merge within database, the replace within database, and we saw merge none and replace none. So these all we covered through different combinations. Now we'll cover today the data management. If we load the data through DM, then how we'll do that. So basically this is our next method, and it is built in the application itself. So data management is a common comprehensive cloud-based data integration tool. It is basically available to all the EPM cloud business process except narrative reporting and enterprise data management, that is EDM. Apart from these two, the data management can be used in all the applications, and it is inbuilt in the application. Data management enables the tax administration to set up, configure, and load the data into the TRCS. Now there are some steps to load the trial balance data from Oracle ERP application to the tax reporting. The steps comprises getting the trial balance data from ERP source system first. Then we'll work in the data management tool to integrate the trial balance from the ERP and load the data into the data management. The data from the data management will be loaded into TRCS. The data management tool acts basically as a bridge between various ERP applications and EPM applications. Now we'll see the steps to load the data into TRCS. The first step would be to register the source system. Source system can be the Oracle ERP Fusion. It can be CSV file as well. It can be in CSV file as well. We'll have to register the target application, which is the TRCS application. We'll create the import format in which we want to import the data into the DM tool from the file or the Fusion application. Then we define the location. It will basically help us to load the data and to identify the location of the data. We can also define the period to which the data pertains. We can then define the category as well. We can define the mapping for data load and also provide the multi-dimension mapping or like mapping or the explicit mapping in the data management tool. Once we are done with the mapping, then we'll create a data load rule and then run that data load rule. After this, it will help us to import the data from data management into the TRCS application. So we'll go through one example of loading the data from file to the TRCS application. For that, we need to go to our TRCS app. Under navigator, you can see the data management under integration icon. Now under setup, first you need to register your source system and your target application. Then under integration setup, you need to create the import format and location. Then in workflow, you need to do the data load mapping and data load and execute the DLR rule. So first we'll register our source system and target. So this source system and target application, period mapping and category mapping, all these four, we'll use the data exchange to complete this task. So we'll go back to the application. Now under application, we have the data exchange. Here under data exchange, we need to register our source and target. So under application, so here to register the source, you need to select the category as data source, type as file because I'm uploading the file. You can give the name. So I'll give the name as file itself, file underscore data load, and description and drill URL is optional. So this is my source system. Then I'll register the target. Category I'll select as EPM local, application as TRCS, cubes as all input cubes, which is fine. Here you can select EPM cloud, data source, data export, dimensions, and I am selecting here EPM local while I am loading the data. And application is my TRCS, that is the target application. So my target will be TRCS. Okay, so with this name the application already exists. Now we'll search, do we have that same application? Okay, so if you see, this is my target application. Similarly, we'll see our source also. So this is our source and this just we created, so we can use any of them. Now we'll go back to the data management. Under setup, we have already registered the source system and target. Now we'll create the import format. Now we'll here add, we'll give the name as dm underscore data load, source is file and target is TRCS, and file type we'll give as delimited numeric data. So file delimiter is comma, so R is CSV file, and we'll save it. So my import format is with the name dm data load. Now here we'll give these data load mappings. So basically my file is so this is my file where we have entity in the first column, the account in second, and amount in third. So likewise we'll give the mapping. So my account was second, so we'll copy here account. My field number is 2. So my account is second, entity is first, and amount is third, and we'll save it. Now for the amount, it is third. Now leave the configuration, give the data source. My data source is not in the file, so I can use any of the above, so I'm using 3. Save. I'm not giving expression here, we'll define that in data load mappings. Entity was there under 1 in the first column. Now from currency, now the rest all dimensions are not there in the file, so we'll give any of the above used. So I'll give 3 for this also. Okay, sorry, I didn't enter the field number. So from currency is 3. We'll give it for intercompany. Save. Okay, so we'll maybe choose some other and then go back. It is saved now. We'll leave the identifier. We'll give it for intercompany. Then the jurisdiction. Okay, so last is the multicap. So we have given all these, defined all these in our import format. Now we'll create the location. We'll give the name as lock data load. Then for import format which we have created, we'll select from here DM data load. Source is file, target is TRCS. Okay. So we have created the location with log data load. Now we will go to the workflow. Now under data load mapping, first we'll select our location which we have created. So it is log data load. We'll define the P12 and 20 period, and it is categories actual. Okay, so here we'll do the like mapping for account. As account was there in my file, so I'll give like mapping as star to star and rule name as E1. For data, leave configuration. For data, I'll do star to star because it was there in the file. Similarly for data source, oh, it is already the system generated one. Alright, so it is already the system generated one. For data sources managed data, then we'll go to entity. Entity is also there in the file. So like to like mapping means star to star mapping I'll give. Now for from currency, we'll also give here star to star. Identify we can leave. For intercompany, now here we'll define the expression for intercompany as no intercompany. We can see how it is written here in the dimension. So we'll give as no intercompany and rule name as I1. Okay, for jurisdiction also no jurisdiction, which has already been defined by the system. Movement, it is no movement, and multi-gap, it is local gap. Okay, so we'll check once for all the dimensions, like its account, it is defined, configuration, leave it, data, star to star. For data source, manage data, entity is star to star because they're in the file. From currency, star to star. Identifier, we have left. Intercompany, no intercompany. Jurisdiction, no jurisdiction. Movement as no movement, and multi-gap as local gap. Okay, so we have defined all the mappings. Now we'll go to the data load rule. We'll create one DLR with the name DLR data load. Okay, we'll give the import format DM data load. Target cube is console, category is actual. Save this. Okay, so now we'll upload the file here. So my file name is data load DM TRCS. Okay, data load DM TRCS. I'll first delete this and upload the new one so that if any changes are there. Okay, so this is my file. Data load DM TRCS. Okay, save and execute. So import from source, export to target, period is this, import mode as replace, export mode as merge. You can do it, replace, run. Now we'll see in the data load workbench. Okay, import is successful, validate is successful. Okay, so export, it is still running, so we'll do the refresh. Okay, so import, validate and export is successful. Now we'll check. So this was my entity, this was my account, and we'll see the amount as this much, 4 lakh, 7 lakh and 126,110, which was there in our file. 4 lakhs, 7 lakh and 126,110. 4 lakh 7 126,110 for the respective accounts, that is 41,000, 51100 and 52110. Now we'll check in the smart view, or we'll create a grid in the TRCS and see whether the data is loaded correctly or not. So under forms, we'll create an ad hoc grid and check. My cube is console. Okay, so now whatever we have given there, the same scenarios we'll define here, the same dimensions. My scenario is actual, view is periodic, currency is entity currency, consolidation as entity input, data source was managed data, Okay, so manage data. Okay. Likewise, the movement is no movement. Jurisdiction is no jurisdiction. Intercompany has no intercompany. Multi-gap as local gap. My year is FY20. Period was P12. Entity was LE101. Account, I'll check from my file. It is 41,000. 41,51100. So 41,000. Okay, so 4 lakh. Simultaneously 51100, 51100, and the entity is LE101. Okay, so 7 lakh, which is correct. Now for the third account, it is 52110. So 52110, and entity is LE101. Refresh it. Okay, so these are the three amounts which I have loaded through GM in this particular intersection: 4 lakh, 7 lakh, 126, 110. Okay, so the data has been loaded in our TRCS application. So this is the way how you load the data through DM in your TRCS through file. Now we'll cover if you want to load the data through the EPM Automate. Okay. For that I'll be loading this file. Like, this is my data, this is my same entity, my different accounts, and this is my data, and this is my point of view. The movement is TRCS TB closing. Consolidation is entity input, data source as data input, currency as entity currency, intercompany as no intercompany, the gap as local gap, scenario actual year FY20, view periodic, period is P12, and this is my jurisdiction, US domicile. Okay, so I'll be loading this TRCS data through EPM Automate. So for that, you need to first log in into your you need to give the commands, like you need to give your login ID, the URL, and the password should be encrypted in an encrypted form. And then if the login is successful, then you need to first delete the file which is there in the application, so that you'll be able to upload it correctly, the new file, the latest one. And then you need to, third step is you create the job name, you give that job name, and you import the data, and you refresh your cube. So these are some of the steps we'll be doing for importing the data through EPM Automate. So I'll open the EPM Automate, launch EPM Automate. Okay, so firstly I have written the commands. Alright, so this is my first command, that is EPM Automate login. After that, we have defined the username, that is EPM default cloud admin. Then this is my encrypted password, and then this is my URL of TRCS. So first I'll copy this command. Okay, so login is successful. Now the next step is, if there is any file which is TRCS data in the system, what we are giving the command as, we need to delete this file, and then we'll upload the new file if there is any existing file with the same name. So first delete that file. So I've given the command as EPM Automate delete file. This is my file name. Okay, so delete file completed successfully. Now my next command will be, I'll upload this file which is there in my local system, and I have given the location where my file is kept. So this is my location which is in D drive, this is my file name. So I am giving the command to upload the file from this location which is there in my system. Okay, so upload file completed successfully. Now it is saying us to import the data. So I am saying it, this is my job name, and you need to, this is my job name, and this is my file name. Okay, so you need to give your file name and job name, and you need to give the command as import data. Okay, so you will go to the TRCS application. Here under Inbox Outbox Explorer, under Actions, under Inbox Outbox Explorer, you need to upload your file. So this is the file which has already been uploaded by the system. I have given the location, so this is the file which has been uploaded now, and I'll create the job name. Import data. So this job I had created already, and this was only the name which is given over here, TRCS job, and this is my file name, that is TRCS data.csv. So we are saying to import this. Now we can create, how will create the job. Location should be inbox, and I'll here define, give the file name, that is TRCS data. So TRCS data.csv, and you will save your job. Now here you need to give the job name. So I'll give the job name as job data, and the error file is error data. If you got any error, so you can see the error file from this error record. Sorry for the background disturbance. So this is my job underscore data. So here you can go and give the same name, job data. First you need to give the command. All right, so I have already, as you saw, we have defined the job name. So I copied this job name, and I given the command as EPM Automate import data. I have given my job name, that is job underscore data, and then I've given my file name, that is TRCS data.csv. And after this, my import data completed successfully. Now I'll give the command as refresh the queue. So once the refresh cube is done, our process will be completed. Now we'll check whether the data is being loaded or not. So simultaneously we'll be creating, we'll check in ad hoc grid. Okay, so this is the new ad hoc grid. We'll define the same intersections. Currency as entity currency. Consolidation I'll give as entity input. Data source I'll pick it from member selector. So I'll use the data input only. The movement I'll give as, I'll check from my file what movement I have used. So it is TRCS TB closing. So I'll define the same movement. Trial balance close is my movement. Jurisdiction I'll give as US domicile. Entity input, if data input, okay. Entity currency, no intercompany. Entity currency, entity input, data input, periodic, balance close, US, intercompany as no intercompany, multi-gap as local gap. Year is FY20 and P12, okay. Period is P12. Now the entity is LE101. Account is 42,000. See, so 25,000 is my amount. 50 to 100 with 50 to 150. Okay, and my entity is LE101. Okay, so my invoice price variance is my account for LE101 and the amount is 10,000. Similarly for third, so it is 10,000. Now for third, 58100. 58100. Now here you will give the entity as LE101 and refresh it. So it is 5,000. So this is the data what we have loaded through EPM Automate, and it is showing us the correct, it has been loaded correctly. So this is the way how you can load the data through inbox, outbox, explorer, directly from the application, to different import mode, using different import modes and automation types, accumulation types, and you can do the data load through data management as well and EPM Automate as well. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening patiently. Thank you so much.